sell a house fast? We are buying. No fees, no hassles, no repair cost. Close on the day of your choice. Our process is simple. Call us today. We inspect your property right away. We make you a fair cash offer. We close on the day of your choice. Call us today, 423-834-7321. Visit our website, ibuychattanooga.com. Call us today, 423-834-7321. ibuychattanooga.com.
Need windows? Hey folks, do you need new windows? Good news. Window Depot of Chattanooga has a great special going on right now. 10 high-quality, energy-efficient double-hung vinyl windows installed for only $29.90. That's right, 10 double-hung vinyl windows, only $2,990. And yes, they qualify for the TVA rebates. Call 894-0011. Window Depot of Chattanooga today, located at 5950 Shalford Road. Call 894-0011 today.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM's news now.
2 people were found dead inside of a home in Ringgold on Sunday. Eyewitnesses report a huge amount of police in the area. It happened on Post Oak Road. So far, details are still limited. A horrific crash on North Lee Highway. The police say that a man was driving a motorcycle when he crashed and flew over the handlebars. He was taken to Tennova Healthcare Center but died shortly after he got there. Authorities believe that another vehicle was involved in the crash. A car was stolen from a truck stop in Bradley County and deputies gave chase. Police say when they finally stopped them, the driver and 2 passengers jumped out and ran away on foot. There was a brief foot chase. The 2 were tackled and arrested. The driver, Travis Grissom, who's 25, is charged with theft over $2,000, felony evading arrest, and alteration of a vehicle tag. Don't forget, Riverside Drive between Chestnut Street and Aquarium Way will be closed for construction on the Riverbend Festival, and the Veterans Bridge off-ramp will also be closed. Russell Stroud, Nooga Radio News, now.
Scattered showers and thunder showers will continue to move back in through your afternoon. Highs up around 80 tonight. More showers and thunder showers marching through, lows mid and upper 60s. Tuesday after a morning shower finally drying out. Highs 80 to 83. Pleasant for the midweek. Letgo's free app makes it amazingly easy to buy and sell your car from your smartphone. Download the app on your iPhone or Android to get started. It's time to snap, post, chat, and sell. It's time to let go. And I'm Sporting 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr on Nooga Radio AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
The Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
Hey, we're back. This is Cindy. And this is the Cindy's Toy Show on AM 1240 and 92.7 FM Nooga Radio. Cindy's Toys is to make a powerful impact in our community. And I'm going to welcome JJ German. That's John German with Office Furniture Warehouse with me here today. Hey, JJ, how are you doing?
Hey, Cindy. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Oh, it's a tremendous honor to have you on, JJ. JJ is part of a very dynamic entrepreneurial couple here in Chattanooga. And it was just the perfect thing for me to be talking about relationships at the first half of the show, which again, relationships are the core of what Cindy's Choice is about, but it's the core of our existence as well. I mean, that's what we're put here for. We're put here for relationships with God and relationships with each other. It's centric to our success in personal life and in our professional life. But JJ has a fantastic relationship story as coming new here from Atlanta back in 2008, right, JJ?
Exactly right. Yeah, right during the the Depression, I guess.
Yes. And I know because I've shared with the listeners, I was starting a construction business not long after that in Houston, Texas, when there was no construction. So I think you and I both are awesome testimonies of the power of relationships. And share a little bit with about that, JJ. So you came here from Atlanta to start a business. And I know from knowing you that you're an architect, right? Mm-hmm. So that was your background.
Mm-hmm.
And what compelled you? I know you were purpose driven. I know that the consumption was saving on consumption was part of your motivation. But just share with us what led you to Office Furniture and got that going.
Yeah, it was an odd situation, but I was practicing architecture and I was doing a lot of business development for a large firm in Atlanta. And one of my clients was downsizing during the technology bust and or the internet bubble, I guess. And he had a quote on his desk for $40,000 to throw away $1.2 million worth of furniture.
Wow.
And he just said, JJ, I just don't have any place to put it. And I don't want to pay to store it. And I don't even know if I'll ever redeploy it again based on the economy. And I just got to get out of the building because the landlord won't let me leave it there. Well, I was working on a project for a client that needed furniture. And he said, if I can just get it out at no cost to me, he said, that's all I'm really looking for. Well, I was able to broker a deal and sell the furniture to another client that I was working with and get it out of the building for my other client at no cost. But then I looked at and I saw how much money I made on that deal. And I thought, oh, I got to get out of architecture and do this. So that's exactly what I did. I got out of architecture and started working out of my house in a second bedroom and just flipping used furniture inventories. And they were abundant during that technology bubble.
Right.
And then that sort of led me to Chattanooga because I did that for several years in Atlanta. And then when 2007 came, we started seeing the recession coming earlier, I think, than a lot of the country did, because we saw a lot of slowdown in work. And then 2008, we significantly saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I was dating a woman that was living in Chattanooga at the time. My daughter had started school at Emory and really nothing to keep me in Atlanta. So I decided to move to Chattanooga to really pursue this relationship and see where it's going to go. And at the same time, decided to start up another used office furniture business. And we started in Cleveland, Tennessee, in an old used car gas station garage with the 3-bay doors that roll up. And it was an interesting place. It was a
I love that story. I love the story that Beverly German is JJ's spouse and partner. And I love the one where you're showing furniture and like critters jumped out of filing cabinets something to run across the room.
Yeah, we scared a few raccoons and we also scared the customer out too. So at that point I knew I really needed to get out of Cleveland and get a better space. And we got to move to the Business Development Center. And that was a great experience for us, a great location. Really was connected with a lot more people in Chattanooga. But to your point about moving here, I really didn't know anybody other than Beverly. When I moved here, I knew no one. So I got very active in the chamber. I went to every chamber grand opening for business, every ribbon cutting, every AM networking, every PM networking. I mean, it's just event after event after event, which was so great about Chattanooga, because Chattanooga offers so many different ways to network and connect with people.
Yes. And that's what we were talking about in the first half of the show, because I was talking about how important that is. And I was talking about how it's not about just showing up and making friendly, that it's about getting out there and getting involved and demonstrating who you are as a business person by how you are involved in these community organizations and so forth. And again, JJ is an excellent testimony to that, because he's still 10 years later, he's still very involved, and he has an impeccable reputation throughout the Chamber of Commerce, but a lot and throughout the community. But a lot of what I was sharing with the audience with is, and JJ, you may know these numbers, but I think I've been told there's like 2,000 members in the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, something like that. Close to 2,400.
Right. And we have over 20,000 businesses in the Chattanooga area. So I'm all concerned about those 18,000 that haven't caught on, that how important relationships are. But again, there's a lot more, there's other networking things besides the chamber.
Right.
So I'm sure people find their source, and a lot of businesses have gotten bigger to where they can advertise. But the smart ones are bigger and they advertise, but they still have their PR person or their marketing person out there connected and contributing within the community. And my point was for small businesses, we were talking about how much time is, how much your time costs.
Yes.
And early on, you didn't have that many clients. So you could get out there and you could get involved in everything and demonstrate who you were, so you could attract more clients. But what I recognize with JJ and Beverly Office Furniture Warehouse is as they've gotten more successful, and they have grown, they're still very involved, and they found that balance. And then they found ways with their employees to plug them in different ways as well. So you kind of create that culture getting started. I believe personally that a lot of JJ's success comes from, or Office Furniture Warehouse success comes from, you setting that pace and that example with relationships.
Yeah, I think the key thing too is when you go into a networking situation, it's not about what you need, it's what other people need as well. And so not only are you trying to convey what you want to do, but you want to hear what that person wants and see if you can help them. Because I strongly believe if you help other people get what they want, you eventually will get what you need. And I had a mentor in Atlanta, a businessman once told me, he says, if you don't tell people your goals and objectives, then they're secrets. And that's really true, because nobody knows what it is you want to accomplish unless you tell them, this is what I'm trying to do. And then you don't know the power of the network and how many people might go out and mention what you're trying to do to someone else, only to find out there's a connection for you. And that's really what's helped me so much in Chattanooga. And that's where the chamber helped me. I think the biggest disconnect for businesses that join the chamber is they pay the membership fee and then they sit at the door waiting for people to show up to buy something. And that's not what the chamber is supposed to do. The chamber is an entity that creates these opportunities for you to meet people, make connections, and build business relationships. They're not a sales force. They're not there to drive business to you just because you join the chamber. They're there to create opportunities for you to go out and meet people, to make those connections and to make those sales opportunities happen.
Right. It's like any community. It's just, I mean, it's like church. If you join a church, but you don't get involved, you're not going to reap the benefits of the relationships there at the church. It's with any kind of community organization, any kind of community, you're only going to get what you put into it, or you're only going to get back what you put into it. But again, that focus of what you can offer, what you can give, how you can help, is the way to go in there. I'd shared in the first half of the show, JJ, about people not just showing up, making friendlies. We all know that guy that shows up and is so eager to put their business card in everyone's hand, and then, they're in, they're out, they're gone. But when it, comes to showing up to serve on a committee or get involved with some kind of fundraiser or something like that, they're nowhere to be seen. So it really does demonstrate what you're about, what your ethics and your integrity level is. And that's really, really important to get out there and demonstrate. And we've been talking about how it's not always that small businesses don't get it, that they don't understand, but they are so focused on just maintaining. I've shared statistics on the show before that 40% of businesses make a profit, 30% are breaking even, and 30% are losing money. And that's one of the missions of Cindy's Choices. I want to change those statistics. That 30% that's breaking even, that was always me. I can get something going. Boy, I'm a starter. And I can maintain, I can get my employees paid. I can get my expenses covered. I can squeak out a living, but I can never get to that next level. And it's a lot, because once I get focused on employees and the operations of the business, it pulls me away from that pipeline of that developing those prospects and cultivating those relationships. And that's a lot where Cindy's Choice wants to help with the shared marketing concept.
Yeah, I think that's a good point you make, because for so many entrepreneurs, they have that hills and valleys in their business. They'll get out there, they'll find work, and then they have to work on it themselves, and then they're not out looking for work. And then when they finish the work, they have no work and have to go back out and look for it. So I think your point and your business concept, which is really, I think is spectacular, is about helping these entrepreneurs keep their sales funnel filled, because that's the key to having steady growth and profitability. So if you can keep that sales funnel filled and have jobs flowing through there all the time that you're working on. Of course, you have to work on customer service, you have to work on quality, things like that. But it gives you time to focus on those things that will endear your customers to you and make them repeat customers. But if you don't have stuff coming through the sales funnel, none of that stuff really matters, because you have nothing to work on. Exactly.
And then we touched on too about how saturated marketing, social media, websites, and so forth like that. It's gotten very, technology has made marketing very complicated for small businesses. And so that the way you can stand out now is through relationships. You need those relationships more than ever. And if you're too busy to do them, the shared concept can help you do that more affordably for the core of your business. But we're talking about relationships and how important they are. But I want to slide into a different kind of relationship, because as I mentioned, Beverly German is JJ's wife that we've hinted about. And they're an entrepreneurial couple. And so there's a whole nother relationship element to entrepreneurship. And weren't you telling me that isn't there going to be an article out about that, something about relationship couples? Or
it was out actually, it was in the Sunday paper, I think in the lifestyle section. Julie Bumgarner had done an article for the paper from Families First, and she interviewed us about how do couples work together and how do they make that successful. And I think Beverly in that interview really hit the key points is you have to have your priorities. And for us, it's God, family, and then work. And I think you have to keep it in that order.
Yes.
The other big thing we talked about is, it's so easy. She's busy all day doing her thing. I'm busy all day doing my thing. We get home and we're having dinner, we're eating dinner, making dinner, whatever we're doing. All of a sudden we start talking about work because that becomes our time to connect. Mm-hmm. And you got to really have some downtime. I mean, I may be tired from the day. She may be tired from the day. And to start getting into details about what happened or what we need to follow up on sometimes can get stressful. So we have to have a understanding of when one or the other is not in a place to talk about work, and we need to postpone that, maybe talk about it later. But having set those boundaries really helps us sort of protect our personal life and our fun time together. So we don't let work just consume us and just be consumed by it, and that it feels like we've never even left the office, even though we have.
Exactly. And it's about priorities. And I want to respond to that. But first, I want to remind you that this is Cindy, and this is the Cindy's Choice Show, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM, Nooga Radio. Cindy's Choice is to make a powerful impact in our community. And I want to shout out to my sponsor. Cindy's Choice for a great catering option is Chicken Salad Chick. Check out their catering menu at chickensaladchickchattanooga.com or call them at 423-781-1330. And yes, JJ, it's priorities because I get personal on here, and it's personal. I'm a single lady, and I've started businesses by myself several times. But I was in a marriage where we were great together. We were very successful with business together, but we didn't have that understanding about God first, family second, then work. We were all about the work. And of course, at the time, I didn't even, I was clueless. There was no God there whatsoever. It makes a huge difference, but I'm very thankful for that experience. And I want to say that I'm very thankful for JJ and Beverly, because as a single lady out there, I've shared with the listeners about my homeless story, and I am starting to speak about that at different groups and so forth like that to help motivate people about facing their fear, which ultimately that was what that was about for me, is like facing a really deeply rooted fear, so that now I am unstoppable and I can start something that'll really make an impact. That's really going to make a difference. But this is the kind of people, and I believe this is a lot why JJ and Beverly are so successful, because they recognize I was out there on my own and that I was still in a major transition from the homelessness. And a lot of the reasons I'm able to get Cindy's Choice going is they'd only known me 3 or 4 months. But I'd been out there, like I said, proving myself as with creating that awareness and earning that respect. And they actually invited me to stay in their home it ended up being about a 6-month stretch. And, what I really want the listeners to take from this is, if you're blessed to be in a dynamic couple where you're, a power team together, how awesome is that? You're still going to face some great challenges. But if you're by yourself, you don't let that stop you. And again, it's about priorities, because if you do put relationships second and then focus on the business, you will succeed. And that's a lot what my story is. And I love the way that JJ's and Beverly's story parallels that. They've inspired me tremendously. And so speaking of, what are some of the challenges, JJ, when you're working, partnering with a spouse?
Oh, well, I mean, you really have to be upfront and talk about things clearly. Sometimes, you hear the message, don't shoot the messenger. Sometimes one of us is the messenger to other about some news or things going on in the office. And you have to remember, they're just conveying the information. They're not the one responsible for whatever's going on. They're just conveying the information.
Oh, boy.
We have to remember not to shoot the messenger. And I'm probably the one that has the most difficult time with that. Beverly's probably a little better at that than I am, but she'll help me remember that as well. But I think those communication lines are important. Like I said, setting those boundaries so we know when we can talk about things, or finding times that are ideal for both of us to sit and meet and work through things. And we're really good about sorting through opportunities. I try not to talk about them as problems so much, but look at more as what are the opportunities in the business and what do we need to be doing differently to improve or make things better, because we've got a great group of people at Office Furniture Warehouse, and love every one of them. And it's like a family, although we feel like we operate like a big company, but they're really like family to us. And so we try to think about decisions we make from the standpoint of it being family versus just totally business. And we think that's really key.
Exactly. And that was my next lead in. I go with rolling with relationships. And that's something else with being involved professionally with Office Furniture Warehouse. And they're so much like a family. And that's something like I had Josh Patton on last time, and I want to have one of his employees on next time, because I think that's important for entrepreneurs to know. The culture that you create is everything. And then I was listening to David Tulis' show earlier today, and it was an entrepreneur who got sick, and thank goodness for his employees. That's the reason he was able to maintain his business. And if he had not created that culture within the business, that family culture, that wouldn't have happened. And I know in 10 years of business, I'm sure you've had your shares of ups and downs. I know you just survived a really big move.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, JJ. Tell us about the move and your new business. And I want to hear too, I'm going to throw a lot at you real quick, because I do want to hear about some of the things that you're involved in. The thing I like about Office Furniture Warehouse is they are purpose driven. They're not just profit driven. So they're doing some great things over in the neighborhood that they're in. Tell us about that, JJ.
Yeah, we're really excited about the move we made. It's only 0.8 of a mile from our other warehouse, but we went from 137,000 square feet down to 81,000 square feet, because I really didn't need that big a warehouse. And we are going to probably sublet out probably some of that 81,000 square feet as well. But it's a great location for us, and we love the neighborhood. It's Boy Street Station is the community group that works in that area, and they're doing some fabulous things with that neighborhood. One of the things we're trying to do right now is we're trying to start a community garden.
I love that.
So we've designated an area for plots, and we're planting vegetables and different plants, and in hopes of getting the neighborhood involved in that. Our other activities we're involved in is Susan G. Komen. We've been a big sponsor of theirs and working with them for quite a few years now. We always help every year with the race. My partner, Jason Flowers, is doing the Big Wigs fundraiser competition. You've never met Jason. He's kind of a big burly guy. He's about 6'2" and about 270, and he's got a beard he's dyed pink, and he's got a pink wig that he wears. So he's quite the force to look at in a pink wig.
I'll have to see that.
But he's raising money. He's committed to try to raise $10,000, and I think we'll make that goal. But we're having an event with Susan G. Komen, a free Zumba class that's going to be at Office Furniture Warehouse on June 17th, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then Office Furniture Warehouse is celebrating its birthday, and we're doing it in conjunction with a fundraiser for Susan G. Komen on June 23rd. So
awesome.
That'll be open to the public, and we'd love to see people come out for that as well.
I've already got both those on my calendar, so you can count on me for sure. And tell me about your relationship with Green Spaces. I love that.
That's such a great organization. Yes. And they're doing this program called Empower. And what they're doing is they're trying to get energy kits out to residents in the neighborhood, and with even in our own zip code, because some of these people have power bills of $400, $500 a month. Well, it's either do I buy medicine or do I pay my power bill? It's a real struggle. So these energy kits they can use to help improve the energy efficiency of their home and reduce their power bill. And they had a lady in the community that reduced her power bill from $400 down to $150. And their question to her was, well, what are you going to do with all this extra disposable income? She says, put gas in my car. And we thought,
awesome.
Well, what does that mean exactly? She said, well, so I can take my neighbor to the doctor. So I can take my other neighbor to get groceries. So I can take my grandchild for, whatever lessons that she's taking, ballet or whatever. Just to do things for her neighbors in her community, being able to have gas in her car, she can do that. Well, she couldn't do that before. All of her disposable income was going to paying her power bill. So we've got a program where we sell used office chairs. And for every chair that we sell, we donate a certain amount of money to buy an energy kit. And to date, I can't remember how many hundreds of energy kits we've provided to Empower, but we do that on a monthly basis with them, and they go out and buy energy kits, and then they do a training session with community leaders in the neighborhood and talk to them about this program, and then hand out these kits to residents. And so we're hoping that's making a difference in people's lives, where they can start saving their money and using it for things that are beneficial to themselves or their community.
That's awesome. And I love the example that Office Furniture Warehouse, JJ, and Beverly set for the community, and how much they do give back, being not just profit driven, but majorly purpose driven. And how do people get a hold of Office Furniture Warehouse? How do they contact Office Furniture Warehouse, JJ? You
can reach us by phone, which is 423-790-1376. You can also reach us by on our website, which is just www.ofwllc.com. And then we're located right there on 1900 Stewart Street. So feel free to come by. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5.
Awesome. JJ, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate all you're doing too. We're really excited about your company and the things that you have to offer and the benefit it has to the business community.
Yes, it's exciting to get it going. And that's, I've had JJ here with me with Office Furniture Warehouse. And again, this has been Cindy with the Cindy's Choice Show, where you're listening to us on AM 1240 and 92.7 FM Nooga Radio. I am Cindy. Cindy's choice is to make a powerful impact in our community, just as Office Furniture Warehouse is doing, just starting 10 years ago and already making such a difference in our community. And I look forward to sharing more entrepreneur stories with you when you join us again. You can find me at cindyschoice.com, 423
Tennessee Valley's news, talk, and sports leader. Nooga Radio, AM 1240 and 92.7 FM.
I've got a $10 bill for you at the best paint store in Chattanooga. David here. Big savings in exterior stains. Chattanooga Paint and Decorating. More than a paint store. Bring up $100 on your next upgrade. Plunk down just $90. Save on all outdoor stains in stock at Chattanooga Paint and Decorating. Prolix Sickens. Benjamin Moore, Flood, Sanson, Richards. 10% off through May 13. Jim and his team are here to help and advise and to help you hold on to your money. 5529 Hickson Pike. Chattanooga Paint and Decorating. ChattanoogaPaint.com.
And now to our reporter in the field.
We asked Ray at Ray's Plumbing what's important for home.